So, here's the scoop, folks. Winter shortages are a possibility, and it's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to our food supply. I completely agree with your proactive approach to being prepared. After all, there's nothing worse than craving at the grocery store, especially during the winter months when comfort food becomes even more enticing. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about the top 8 foods you might want to consider stocking up on before winter hits in full force. Number 8. Bread. Alright, let's get to the heart of our meals. Bread. Seriously, can you even imagine a world without it? From classic sandwiches to comforting toasts, not to mention croutons and breadcrumbs for added crunch, bread is the unsung hero of the culinary world. But here's the deal. Our beloved bread is going through a bit of a tough time. You know those artisanal and whole grain varieties that have become all the rage? Well, their popularity has shot through the roof, and the supply chain is struggling to keep pace. So what's causing this bread dilemma? Mother Nature, for one, hasn't been playing nice. Shifting weather patterns mean those golden wheat fields aren't producing as abundantly as they once did. Throw in some crop diseases and transportation disruptions, and we've got a recipe for dwindling supplies. Naturally, when supply dips and demand remains high, prices start to soar. Milling companies are working around the clock, quite literally, trying to process enough wheat to satisfy our bread cravings. But they're finding it's no walk in the park. Number 7. Bulgur wheat. Now let's talk about a grain that's been gaining popularity for all the right reasons. Bulgur wheat. It's a staple in Middle Eastern diets and has been making its way into American kitchens, thanks to its health benefits. But guess what? Bulgur wheat is also feeling the squeeze. Most of it comes from countries like Turkey, Syria, and Lebanon, and it's a bit finicky when it comes to growing conditions. Unfortunately, erratic weather patterns and prolonged dry spells have messed with those conditions. On top of that, conflicts in some of these production areas have made farming activities even trickier. Lucas, the owner of a health food store in San Francisco, put it plainly, bulgur has been a hit among health-conscious Americans, especially in salads and as a rice substitute. But lately, our suppliers have been sending us less, blaming production issues. Customers come looking for it, and it's frustrating when we can't meet the demand. The shortage isn't just about availability. It's also resulted in a nearly 20% price hike over the past year. Number 6. Garlic. Garlic, the kitchen superhero that adds flavor to our dishes. Whether you love it or hate it, most of us love it. Garlic has been spicing up our meals for centuries. But did you know that a massive chunk of the world's garlic supply comes from China? They're the reigning champs in the garlic game. However, just like our buzzing bee friends, garlic production has hit a few bumps in the road lately. Due to some unexpected and extreme weather patterns, China's garlic yields have taken a hit, and to make matters worse, they've also encountered several supply chain hiccups. The result? A global shortage of garlic, and as you might have guessed, rising prices. Number 5. Almonds. So almonds, right? These little guys have become the darlings of vegan diets all over the place, mainly because of almond milk. But here's the scoop. Most of these almonds are chilling out in sunny California. However, California has been going through a bit of a dry spell, to put it lightly. We're talking long, drawn-out droughts, and that's a problem when you're growing something as water-thirsty as almonds. Here's a fun, or not-so-fun fact. It takes a whopping 1.1 gallons of water to make just one almond. Yes, that's right, one almond. With water becoming as precious as gold figuratively, almond farmers are feeling the heat. Anna, who owns an almond orchard, described the situation vividly, saying, "Almonds are like the divas of the plant world when it comes to water. With the drought issues, we've had to scale back our almond grows. So for almond enthusiasts, brace yourselves. Fewer almonds might mean shelling out more cash for your almond fix." Number 4. Soybeans. Now let's talk about soybeans. They might not be as glamorous as almonds, but they're super important. These beans are all over the place, from animal feed to all sorts of food items. But here's the deal. Soybean fields haven't been having the best time lately. Mother Nature has been playing tricks, especially in big soybean-producing regions like the US and Brazil. Imagine cloudy skies, heavy rains, and then throw in some trade tensions for good measure. It's been a rough time for soybean farmers. All these hiccups have left global soybean reserves looking a little on the thin side. And as we've been discussing, when supplies shrink, prices tend to go up. Number 3. Peanuts and peanut butter. All right, peanuts, my childhood friend. Peanut butter sandwiches. Peanut cookies and midnight spoonfuls straight from the jar. It's the comfort food of champions. But guess what? Peanut farms, especially in the US, have been hit hard by extreme weather, mainly droughts. Farming's hard enough without unpredictable weather patterns, right? And just when you thought nature was the only challenge, enter the pandemic. People started craving comfort foods like never before. Who'd have thought that a gooey peanut butter sandwich would be the remedy for tough times? But here's the catch. Demand has soared while supply has dwindled, and that's brewing a little storm in the peanut butter jar. Sally, a mom from Minnesota, chuckled. Who would have guessed I'd have to tell my kids to ration the peanut butter? But jokes aside, don't be surprised if you see peanut products, especially that beloved peanut butter, with a steeper price tag on your next grocery run. Number 2, pie crusts. Now let's move on to something flakier, pie crusts. Just when you're dreaming of those buttery golden pies for the holidays, there's some news from the bakery front. These pie crusts, the unsung heroes of the pie world, are feeling the pressure because of the ongoing flour shortage. Imagine preparing for the festive season rush, only to be hit with a flour crisis. Linda, a dedicated pie enthusiast from Seattle, shared her woes. Every year, as the holidays approach, our ovens go into overdrive, churning out pies for Thanksgiving, Christmas, you name it. But this year, we're struggling to keep up, all because of the lack of flour. So if you're a pie lover like Linda, be prepared for potential price hikes, or get ready to experiment with your holiday desserts. Number 1, eggs are under some pressure. It's not all sunny side up in the world of poultry right now. In certain parts of the United States, bird flu outbreaks have become a real headache for chicken farmers. To prevent the spread of the disease, they've had to resort to mass culling of chickens, which has naturally led to a drop in egg production. But wait, there's more. The cost of chicken feed has been on the rise due to grain shortages. This makes it more expensive to maintain poultry farms, which in turn affects egg production. Jennifer, a dedicated poultry farmer from Iowa, voiced her concerns, saying, "Between the disease threats and the rising costs, it's been a challenging year. We're producing fewer eggs, and I'm worried about keeping up with the demand." So, if you're someone who can't do without their eggs, you might want to prepare yourself for a potential hike in egg prices and the possibility of seeing more out-of-stock signs at your local grocery store. It's a challenging time for egg lovers, but staying informed and being prepared is the way to go. So, folks, winter shortages are a possibility, and being prepared is the name of the game. It's better to have these essentials stocked up now than to find yourself in a last-minute scramble at the grocery store. If you've noticed any shortages in your area or have more tips to share, please drop a comment below. Your input can help everyone stay well-informed and ready for whatever winter may bring. And don't forget to hit that like button to show your support for being prepared. Stay warm and well-stocked, everyone.